What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to the latest Liverpool transfer news, and in this video the main topic will be the reports coming from Spain that Liverpool will go all out to sign Real Madrid winger Marco Asensio, and Liverpool could pay about 60 to 70 million pounds for his services according to some Spanish newspapers. So what do you think about Marco Asensio? Do you think he's worth it? He's 23 years old, so the best years are probably ahead of him. Could Jurgen Klopp unlock his full potential at Anfield? That's the big question. And Marco Asensio wants to leave Real Madrid because he wants to be the main man at the club. Real Madrid already signed Eden Hazard and other attacking players, so Marco Asensio's game time will be even more limited. And last season he started about half of his games at Real Madrid. He played 44 games last season. He scored just 6 goals, but the season before that he got 11 goals, and the season before that he got 10 goals. So when he's a regular in a Liverpool side, I expect him to get about 10 goals next season if he can get used to the Premier League. But the big question is, would Marco Asensio be a good signing for Liverpool? And that is for you guys to decide. So let me know by voting, and also leave a like on this video if you enjoy these transfer news videos. I have a lot of fun making them and you guys seem to enjoy it. So just to say, it takes a second to show your appreciation. Of course, subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news. And I will also have some reports on Harvey Elliott, who watched the Tranmere Liverpool game yesterday in the stands, so that signing is very close, so more on that later in this video. And you could argue that Liverpool don't really necessarily need desperately a front player who could cost 60-70 million pounds, because we already have Salah, Mane and Firmino, and also Divock Origi signed a new contract just recently, and also Origi scored already in pre-season, and we also have Ryan Brewster. But Marco Asensio wouldn't necessarily play as a left winger or right winger. And this is where I think the Marco Asensio's potential and attractiveness lies, that he can play in multiple positions. He can not just play at the left wing or right wing, but he can play as a sort of a number 10, an attacking midfielder as well, who could play similar to how Philippe Coutinho played when he was playing for Liverpool, where Marco Asensio could have a floating role just behind Firmino. And I think his creativity and his first touch, his dribbling ability could really shine through. At Real Madrid, Marco Asensio didn't get an extended run in the team, and it's very, very difficult to fulfill your potential when one week you are starting, the next week you are coming off the bench, and the next week you are not even playing. It's very difficult. It disrupts your rhythm, and I think Liverpool could really improve on Marco Asensio, especially Jurgen Klopp, because don't forget that all the major signings that Liverpool made, Jurgen Klopp improved to them, some of them by a long distance. I mean, just look at Mohamed Salah, look at Sadio Mane, look at Firmino. They were good players, but they were nowhere near world-class players when they signed for Liverpool, and Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool made them world-class. I mean, Salah's goal-scoring numbers are through the roof since he signed for Liverpool, and he was a decent winger at Roma, but he scored like 40 or 35% of the goals that he scores at Liverpool, and I would expect Marco Asensio to maybe do a similar improvement. There could be a catch though in the transfer, because Real Madrid, according to the reports, they want Sadio Mane as part of the deal, but Liverpool categorically said that Mane is not for sale, so I don't think that we entertain this idea. I don't think we are selling Sadio Mane to Real Madrid anytime soon. And some Spanish newspapers are reporting that Jurgen Klopp wants Asensio, and Liverpool are willing to pay up to 65-68 million pounds, according to reports, for the 23-year-old winger, who cost Real Madrid just 3 million pounds from Mallorca in 2015. So whenever Real Madrid decide to sell Marco Asensio, they will make a big hefty profit. However, these Spanish publications are also saying that Real Madrid would not be prepared to simply sell to Liverpool, who are the Champions League winners, of course, especially as they intend to take Liverpool's European crown from them next season. And they would only see the deal as a way to bring money to the Bernabeu. I'm not sure how credible these reports are, but if that's the only way that Real Madrid are selling Asensio to Liverpool, then I don't think we want to do that deal. And Asensio has struggled for game time at the Bernabeu, but as some Spanish publications are pointing out, Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp has a reputation for getting the best out of his players, and Asensio is at the right age to develop and potentially become a superstar at Anfield. Spanish outlet Marca has previously reported that Zidane, the Real Madrid manager, believes that Asensio has a future at Real Madrid, and he's prepared to help Asensio rediscover his form next season. But Asensio could still face fierce competitions for a place in Real Madrid's first team, and I think that's why there are so many stories of Asensio potentially leaving Real Madrid, because the Real Madrid already had, you know, Gareth Bale, Vinicius Junior, Lucas Vazquez in their team as wingers, but now they signed Eden Hazard and Rodrigo from Santos, Eden Hazard from Chelsea. So they signed 2 more wingers. And that is just too many wingers for Real Madrid, in my opinion. They have like 6 or 7 players who usually are the most comfortable on the wing. So something has to give. Real Madrid can't start the season with all 6 or 7 wingers at the club. They want to sell Gareth Bale, but Gareth Bale doesn't want to leave Real Madrid really, and he's willing to just sit out his contract and play golf during the season if Real Madrid can't really move him on. And the fact of the matter is that Gareth Bale would only sign for a club who could maybe match his wages, and his wages are incredible, £350,000 per week. And for that amount, and also because Gareth Bale has been struggling with injuries in the past 2 seasons, maybe Manchester United could move for him, but even then Manchester United wouldn't really have the money to sign Gareth Bale. The other stumbling block in that deal is that Real Madrid want as much for Gareth Bale as they paid for Gareth Bale many years ago, and that's like £85 million or something like that. And to be honest, Gareth Bale is not worth that much. So if they can't move on Gareth Bale, the other winger that they can move on is probably Asensio, and they can recoup some of the transfer fees that they already paid for Hazard, for Rodrigo. I don't think if Real Madrid decide to sell Lucas Vazquez, they would get any significant amount for him. So I think the only option for Real Madrid is to sell Asensio and recoup some funds. And Jurgen Klopp commented on Liverpool's transfer activity after the Tranmere game, and despite Alberto Moreno and Daniel Sturridge leaving the club, Jurgen Klopp believes that Liverpool won't make the biggest transfer window in their history. They won't sign many big players for a lot of money, and that's, I think, was pretty obvious. But I think listening to Jurgen Klopp, we get a lot more clear about what Liverpool are planning to do for the new season. And this is what Jurgen Klopp said after the game. Ryan Brewster, Oxlade-Chamberlain, they didn't play last year. All the young boys today are all new players for us, so that's all good. Just my comment. Ben Woodburn, Harry Wilson, Ryan Kent, even Bobby Duncan, the striker who scored as well, Ryan Brewster, of course, and Oxlade-Chamberlain, Lallana. These are players that you could count them as new players in the squad, because they either really weren't at Liverpool, they were on loan, or they have been out injured last season. And I think that's one of the reasons why Jurgen Klopp is not really panicking and not really wanting to spend the big bucks on a big player in this summer transfer window. I really hope that Liverpool don't regret that. Right now, that's how Jurgen Klopp sees things. He wants to give the young players a chance, and also Oxlade-Chamberlain and Lallana will be good squad players. But this is what Jurgen Klopp said, and I quote, "The transfer market is open I don't know exactly until when, August the 8th, the reporter said to Jurgen Klopp, the whole of Europe had the wonderful idea to close the transfer window early, and the only country that did it was England. We closed it 3 weeks before all of the others. So yeah, we will see what we do. I don't think it will be the biggest transfer window of all time. And that's of course the biggest understatement probably from Jurgen Klopp. But I think if Liverpool don't make a big money transfer, which there is a possibility of that happening, I really hope not, but then Liverpool fans will grow a little bit restless, because I think Liverpool fans, they just want the squad to be a little bit stronger, a little bit better, and with seeing all the other top clubs making big transfer moves, even Chelsea, who have a transfer ban, signed Kovacic and Pulisic for in some loophole. So Liverpool fans want to see their club strengthening. I mean, Manchester City and Tottenham already broke their transfer records, so I really hope that Liverpool sign at least either Asensio or Nicolas Pepe or somebody else. But I just have a sense that Liverpool will make a big transfer this summer. And I just wanted to pay tribute to Peter Crouch, who I consider like a smaller Liverpool legend, not in terms of his height, because of course he's like as tall as a skyscraper. But Peter Crouch, who was a great striker for Liverpool, retired today. He announced it on Twitter that he decided to retire from football, and of course Peter Crouch inspired the memorable song from Liverpool fans, which sounded like, he's big, he's red, his feet stick out of the bed, Peter Crouch, Peter Crouch. I loved that song, and I remember in his first season he couldn't score for a lot of matches in the first like 15 matches of the season, but then a deflected strike, he scored against Wigan, and then he scored another one quickly, and then he went on a mad goal scoring run, and he scored quite a lot of goals. The most memorable one probably is where he bicycle kicked it into the back of the net against Galatasaray. That was a brilliant strike, and I'm very happy with him. And then he went on to have a successful career elsewhere as well, but I think his best period was at Liverpool. And Jurgen Klopp also commented on Ryan Brewster and where he will play during the season. This is what he said: Ryan Brewster is a top striker, he's a top talent, and I've told him already that he has an important role this year, but how important depends only on him. We will see. He has to play different positions as well, the center, but also on the wing is possible, I think. We will see how we line up, but there will be opportunities for him, I am sure. So I think Jurgen Klopp is also very excited about Ryan Brewster, but he doesn't want the hype to already go out of this world, because it's very dangerous that Liverpool fans love to hype up young players, and Ryan Brewster at the moment is getting a lot of hype. So I really hope that maybe Liverpool fans reel it back in a little bit, because Ryan Brewster is a brilliant talent, but don't put too much pressure on him. He's just a 19-year-old kid, so let him develop, let him take his time. If he makes a couple of bad performances in some games, just give him time, because he's still learning and he's still, I think, a kid basically. So give him time, and I'm sure that he will come good. Joel Matip, after winning the Champions League, took a German interview in a German newspaper, and this is what he said: I do not want to know how it would have been if we had lost the final. That would have been tough, because it hurt quite a bit that we didn't win the Premier League after such a long season. The Champions League title is also a kind of a confirmation that we had a good season. He is the core character, Jurgen Klopp, at Liverpool, the basis for everything that happens in the club. He sets the direction. It's not just about the emotional aspect, but also the sporting aspect. He has a clear plan for everything we do. The Champions League win was nice, but last season I felt what it would mean for Liverpool fans to win the Premier League. That's why I would like to do that. We will work on it. So Jurgen Klopp and also Joel Matip and also the Liverpool owners, they are all confirming that Liverpool's major target will be the Premier League title, winning the Premier League title next season, or this season rather, because the pre-season is already on the way. So I'm really looking forward to covering the season for you guys on this channel, and I'm really excited about what is to come. And most Liverpool fans are very happy that Origi is staying at the club and signing a new contract, but ESPN pundits are laying into him. First it was Steve Nicol who actually said that he was disappointed that Origi signed a new contract at Liverpool because he thought that Origi was not good enough for Liverpool. And now another pundit, Brian McBride, who used to play for the United States national team and for Fulham, said that that Origi is not as good as Liverpool requires. This is what he said. Let's be honest, he cannot play Origi in the same way as Firmino can. Liverpool has to play actually a different style. His mobility isn't anywhere near as good. The only way I can say this is happening is because, one, they were unable to find anybody that would be willing to sit on the bench, that would be happy to come in and play a bit part. But also the fact that Divock already understands the situation, he understands the way the team plays, he understands the players. But if you are looking and saying this signing is going to make Liverpool better, no. Yeah, I do think that sentimentality has played a big part in this new contract. He's referring to Origi scoring 2 goals in the Champions League semi-final, a goal in the final. And this is what he said. I think that's part of it as a thank you. Looking at all the other factors, it's a small factor. I agree with Brian McBride in that Liverpool have to change their style if Origi is playing. And that's why we are trying to sign Asensio, Nicolas Pepe or somebody else. So when Liverpool play with those players, Liverpool don't have to change their playing style as much as when Origi plays. But I don't think Origi is not good enough for Liverpool. I certainly think that as a squad player, Origi is very valuable. Of course, he's not as good as Firmino, but Firmino is a world-class striker. He is Brazil's main striker, Brazil's number 9. And Origi is just 24 years old. He's still developing. He has the potential to become an even better striker. But at the moment, the pundit is right in that Liverpool can't find another striker who is as good as Origi to sit on the bench. I mean, we were linked with Timo Werner earlier in the season, and I think that Timo Werner didn't go to Liverpool because he didn't want to sit on the bench and he knew that he wasn't starting ahead of Firmino. And there was just no chance to sign him realistically because of this predicament. And it's very difficult. I don't think that Liverpool necessarily didn't sign a striker because he didn't want to sit on the bench. Because Liverpool play a lot of games. I mean, look at Manchester City. I mean, they are rotating sometimes between Gabriel Jesus and Aguero. Sometimes they are even playing the two of them together. But I think at Liverpool, it could be a similar situation that in the future Liverpool could sign a big striker and they could rotate between Firmino and that big striker. I mean, Firmino cannot play every single game, and I think Liverpool need players like Origi in the squad if we want to compete for all trophies. And Ryan Brewster gave a very good interview after the game against Tranmere. This is what he said. This time last year I was out injured. I was here watching the boys play against Tranmere, and this year I'm here playing. It's mad how far you can come in 1 year. I'm loving every minute of pre-season. It's tough, don't get me wrong, but I would be rather out there than on the treatment bench. It's great to be back out there. I think the team played really well in both halves, and I'm so happy that I scored 2 goals. So hats off to Ryan Brewster. What a brilliant first game in pre-season for him, and I think a lot more is to come from him. I just hope that he stays fit and keeps firing in the goals. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.